All right, we've made it all the way to podcast number 8. And today I want to talk about the importance of living your life as a story and telling a story and realizing all of the parts of a story and how important different parts of your story are. So with that being said, I want you to sit there and I want you to imagine that you are watching your movie, your biography. Like, we've all seen the Ray Charles movie. We've all seen the iconic biographies of, say, JFK, Nelson Mandela. Now, I want you to imagine that you're watching your movie. You're watching your life in reflection. Now, think about all of the parts that go into making a movie. You've got your co-stars. You've got your supporting actors. You've got your extras. You've got the people who watch the movie. You've got your director. You've got your production manager. You've got the people financing the movie. You've got all of the writers, everything that goes into making a movie. And I really want you to just sit there and imagine that you're watching your movie. So as you're doing this, I want you to think in your life where you're prioritizing your time. So when you're talking to somebody and you're giving part of your energy, life force, time, knowledge, experience, anything, ask yourself, is this person going to be in my movie? If I was watching my movie, and it doesn't really matter what part of the movie that you're in, you're trying to look at the significance of the character in front of you. Now, it might be the hero, it might be the villain, it might be the mentor, it might be the person who pulls you through, the person who pats you on the back, whatever it is. Ask yourself, would this person make my movie? And it will very clearly demonstrate to you whether or not you should be putting a bunch of time and energy into them. Now, I'm not saying just brush off everyone. I'm just saying make sure that you're expending a majority of your energy on the right people and with the right people. So let's just kind of break down a movie. You've got the introduction to the characters, and you've got if you look at Rocky, you've got Rocky who has, no pun intended, a rocky start. And he is having all of this turmoil and this tumultuous beginning. And then he gets this passion and he gets this dream that he wants to do. And then he finds a mentor, but he doesn't listen to the mentor. And then he gets his butt kicked. And then he listens to the mentor and he puts the time in and he puts the energy in and he puts the work in. And at the last possible second, he becomes triumphant because he believed. He went through, he persevered, and he is champion of the world. Well, that's all you got to do, right? It always works out that way. Or not so much. So that is why I really believe in understanding the characters in your life and start spending time with the director. Now, I don't know who's the director in your life. Only you can answer that. Start spending time with other co-stars so that you can get the right chemistry. Start spending time with all the people who matter. But people who are just trying to make your movie a sad one, well, stop spending time with them. You know, realistically, you only have 3 people in your life. 3 kinds of people, that's it. Number 1, you have people who need to get out of your life. I'm serious. And unfortunately, that is the most prevalent person in your life. People who need to get out of it. Now, the second most common person in your life, and these people are extremely important because these are stepping stones in your life. These are people who can step on you to get where they need to go, and you can step on to get where you need to go. Well, here's the problem. You have to be both a person who can take action and move forward and really, really, really take control of a situation, all the while being submissive and letting someone essentially use you, and you have to want to see them succeed. Now, everyone says the same thing. I don't want anybody to step on me. Well, you know what? You have to use stair steps to get up in life. You have to reach for that next ladder rung up. You need to be moving up, not sideways, not down. You need to move up. Now, the problem is, if you aren't both in this relationship, You are someone who is getting stepped on and taken advantage of. And if you're not getting anything out of the relationship, guess what? That other person is someone who needs to get out of your life. And if you're someone who's just using people as the stair step, the escalator, the thing to propel you forward, but they don't get anything out of it, well, you know what? I can't really say that on here, but you know what you are, and don't do it. Start helping people. Now, it's never too late to analyze the roles and the people that are in your life. And I recommend constantly doing it, honestly, because people can change. People really can, for good and bad. And sometimes they do it in the same day. That's a completely different conversation. But let's talk about this third person in your life. All right? These people are the most rare. I can count less than 10 people in my entire life that qualify to be this category. These are cornerstones of your life. Cornerstones. Now, an important note on this is these are people who you can either build off of or with. So let's understand what that means. These are people who don't necessarily need you. These are people who are giving back. These are people who are your snowplow. Again, if you don't know the snowplow concept, it is in a previous episode, and I really recommend and encourage you to go listen to that because it is a reoccurring concept that I kind of go back to a lot to help you understand exactly what I'm trying to illustrate that I really believe can help you. So let's get into this third personality. This is the cornerstone. These are people who can really give you some roots. These are people that can help you build. And when I say off of or with, this means you can build with them if they'll allow you, or you can build off of because they're so strong, they can take on some of your burdens and inexperience, immaturity, whatever it is. They are people who I call remote controls of life. These are people who have done so much that they can literally fast forward your life just by knowing them, watching them operate, seeing what they can do, what they've done, how they can help you. They will literally fast forward your life so that you can achieve your dreams and goals faster. Well, here's the problem. Most of the time, if you already knew everything they knew, you wouldn't need them. So they're a very, very disruptive force in your life. These people are going to show up like people you initially think need to get out of your life because they're there to challenge you. They're going to ask why. They're going to get mad. They're going to say, hey, why don't you do it this way? I can't believe this is happening. Hey, they're going to hold you accountable. And you're going to go, man, I don't need this. I can do this by myself. Now, I will be honest with you, I can look back and I can identify multiple cornerstones that if I would have listened to them back then and I would have adopted them as a cornerstone, I would be so much further. They would have literally fast forwarded my life. But unfortunately, I identified them as people who needed to get out of my life. Why? Because I like being right. I like being in control. I like being a leader. Giving that up is hard. Giving that up was the best thing that I did when I found my cornerstones and I could finally identify them and I did not squander them. So I challenge you to, and I know I say I challenge you. I do. I say it a lot in this podcast, but I mean it. These things were things that challenged me. These concepts are the things that challenged me. And if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. You're not listening to this podcast to stay the same. So yes, I challenge you to find some cornerstones and listen to them. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Now, I'm still learning that concept. Listen to some cornerstones and watch your life change. You're going to build your dreams bigger and faster and farther than you've ever thought possible. So take a moment and identify who is going to be in your movie. Who is it? And what role do they play? What is the significance in your movie? Are they a star? Are they the co-star? Are they the director? Are they literally rewriting and shaping your movie? Are they just an extra? So think about everyone that is in your life/movie and ask yourself, would I cast you again? Would I let you on this set being your life? and make sure you are making the best movie that you can. Find the right characters. And remember, there are 3 people in your life, people who need to get out of your life. But maybe you're too busy trying to convince yourself that the people who need to get out of your life are really stepping stones. Or even worse, you're trying to convince yourself that people who you know need to get out of your life are your cornerstones. Now that's the most toxic people that you can have in your life with the most control and the most influence. So be careful. Identify these people, identify the roles, and then of course, make sure that you pay attention when you have cornerstones around. They're never going to come in the way that you think they will. They're going to be very different and something that you've never seen before. Because remember, if you'd seen it before and you really understood it, you would have been able to do it. This has been the Final Percent Podcast. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you.